Good morning, everyone. I guess we're not doing the second song. Good morning. I'm Leisha Leslie, your chart analyst here at Option Pit. Welcome, and thank you for joining us for State of the Market today. Now that we have our second big economic data number out, the CPI this morning, I don't know about you guys, but I feel liberated and free to trade the way I like to trade. Looks like CPI was in line for year over year and for the core, but the month of August came in a little hot. They were expecting 0.3, it came in 0.4. Also, the jobless claims are a little higher than what they were expecting. But the market doesn't mind. We're rallying pretty well. Maybe 6,600's in the cards on SPX for next week. MACD's just turning bullish. Let's talk about what is happening at Option Pit. Now, everyone here, this is our open to the public forum. Every morning, we like to share what we see in the markets. And we also want to let you know what we're doing here in Option Pit, because not everyone is a member, not everyone belongs to every service we have. So just a little preview, and this is just trades that were closed yesterday. Andrew is in charge of Flash 10. He took a almost 23% win in WBD. Trade Zone, Mark and I saw a nice bullish chart in Costco and 2 weeks ago, and we had a nice rally. Mark chose a really great butterfly, closed it yesterday for over 65%. In Rip Zone, Andrew and Mark had a NVIDIA trade, closed for 31%. Special Situations also took advantage of that move in NVIDIA and closed a trade for 76%. Lots and lots of stuff happening here at Option Pit. We have lots of variety in our services and lots of styles of trading. I would like to talk about Small Account Challenge because it's fresh. We're just beginning, and we had an awesome trade. We closed on Monday. I saw this setup on the chart in Etsy. Beautiful hammer on support. Confirmation, very important. And what is the most beautiful thing about this chart? That 200-day moving average. Moving averages can be support and resistance levels. Look how beautifully that lines up with that pitchfork. That tells you have a really good pitchfork. Not only is the 200-day telling you that's resistance, so is your pitchfork. And we had a little double bottom, really nice change in trend hammer, the confirmation blowing through that resistance. This tells me there's a great trade setup here. 80% chance Etsy's going to trade up to the median line. And lo and behold, look at that. The 50-day is lining up with my median line. This is an excellent, really good pitchfork that I can confidently trade off of. So I see the setup. I send out the trade alert on Friday. It was later in the day. I like to send my trades a little bit later in the day just because things can reverse, things can change. As I always tell my members, the close is always more important than the intraday. Remember, the intraday creates all those wicks or upper and lower shadows on the charts, on the candles. And what we're interested in is where the stock looks like it's going to close. Is it going to close above or below that support or resistance level? So a lot of my trades come out probably in the last hour of the day to be sure that the stock is going to move in the direction I think it's going to. So this trade was a little bit later in the day. And I sent out a one lot because the price of the option. In small account challenge, we don't spend more than $300 on each trade. And so with the option being that price, we can only do one lot. Now, mind you, other members trade more than one. And I also give you the price range to trade the option. I don't want us to chase it. Patience, watch your 5-minute chart. That's how we try to go about getting in on our trades. Then once I send the trade alert, I will send you why I like the trade, what the setup was on the pitchfork, on the chart, why we're entering this trade. And then I also add the trade plan. Now the trade plan has already been figured out. I know my trade plan before I even set the alert to you. You may not get the trade plan till after the trade alert, but that's just because we got to get in the trade. I do know it. I figured it out before I've even sent you the alert. And here's my explanation. Etsy bounced off support with the beautiful hammer, confirmation, clearing the 200-day moving average, and entering into the next channel, meaning it cleared the pitchfork resistance also. So that was why we had gotten into the trade. Here is the meat and potatoes, the trade plan. Once we're in, this is what we're going to do. My price target in this case was up at the median line, 58.38. And that also, as I said, lines up with that resistance of the 50-day moving average. So we have price target where we want to take our profits. I also, not every trade goes the way you planned. There are going to be a handful of losses. We have to have that trade plan. What are we going to do in case the trade goes awry, the pattern fails, and it doesn't do what you think it's going to do? Well, we already know that. Here's my price target on the stock. I will teach you how to figure out where that option should be trading by then. And there's my option price target. And here's my stop loss, a close below that 200-day moving average. Generally, the stop loss is set where your support resistance lies. And that's why the close is always more important, as I said. So here you have all your answers to your trade plan. I highly recommend always having a trade plan for every trade you enter. Otherwise, you're in the middle of the trade, it's going great, or it's going the opposite of what you thought, and you're scrambling. Your emotions come into it, right? To have all this set up and to have the trade plan, it takes care of the emotion. It takes care of the discipline, removing the emotion. And, okay, wait, well, I'm going the wrong way. I'm sorry. Here we go. There we are. Along with the actual trade plan, hard prices. We want to sell these options at 4.5 when the stock reaches 58.36. If the stock closes below or looks like it's going to close below this level, we're going to bail. Along with that whole plan, I am going to send you the pivot points of my pitchfork. And that way you can draw the same exact pitchfork on your chart. And as you can see, this pitchfork goes back to October 30th of 24. Now, you'll have this pitchfork in your trading view to be able to trade off of the whole time the stock is within the top and bottom of that pitchfork. As long as the stock is within those boundaries, those channels, you'll be able to trade over it over and over and over again using that same pitchfork. And I have pitchforks that go back to 21 and 22 that are still viable. So really nice tool for you to have forever and ever. Here's our chat room, comparing notes on where they got in, how they're doing. Everyone's excited. We got a new trade going. It's always exciting to enter a new trade. We're pumped up. We want to see it work out. We want to make some money. Well, Etsy that very following morning on Monday was looking like it was going to open higher. So pretty early on in the day, I sent out the exit. And I tell you exactly, we only had one lot officially. Like, as I said, many members had more than one lot. You're free to trade, trade at your style, trade at your comfort. I am giving you guidelines, right? I'm giving you trade ideas. And these numbers are exactly where I traded. So my alert says to sell these at 355 or better. And that trade made 63% from Friday afternoon to Monday morning. Here it is on the 5-minute chart, the action that Etsy had made from Friday afternoon to, we probably sold it around here, Monday morning. Here it is on the daily chart. And as you can see, sure enough, the pitchfork pans out perfectly. And I just took a snapshot of this today. Here's where we got in, and we sold. Here's where we sold. I didn't carry my trade all the way to the median line. If I had more than one contract, I definitely would have sold the majority of it at that 355 level. And I would have taken 1 or 2 extra contracts and taken it to my price target. And that's exactly where Etsy had stopped. And as you can see, this resistance 2 days later, this is yesterday, still holding. That resistance at Etsy is still holding. And looking at this chart, you break through there, and the 21-day, Etsy's going to rally back up here. The pitchfork has all the answers, and this trade panned out beautifully. I know most of my members did better than I did, and we made on my one lot, I made $143. Easy entry, I paid $227. Easy exit, I sold at $370. As traders here at Option Pit, we have to wait 5 minutes once we send a trade alert. So even entry and exit, the traders here at Option Pit, we have the grace period of allowing our members to get in the trade before we do. Most of the time, our members get a better fill. Sometimes we get a little better fill. But I will also train you to watch your 5-minute candle so that you don't have to run in and buy the offer or run in and sell the bid. 5-minute chart. I'll teach you to watch the candles on the 5-minute chart to get the maximum profit or to keep your loss to the minimum. We will learn how to do that. Oh boy, I don't know why that does that. And here are our members rejoicing, celebrating. What a great trade we had. And as I said, we have a couple guys over here on the right. They held out. They knew to wait for the profit target. They had extra contracts. So I got out at $370. We have guys that got out at $5, $501, $475, making 100% or more. So this service is geared for any trader. You're going to learn technical analysis, how to draw pitchforks, how to read candlesticks. And I am trading it more conservatively because it is a small account. It's a small account challenge. The whole idea is to protect that account and grow it slowly. Or grow it as quickly as we can, but probably more slowly than a larger account. But you can trade it at any way you're comfortable. You can always add more contracts and make more money. As I said, most members probably fare better than I do overall. On top of the trade alerts, and this is with I believe every service Option Pit offer. Well, I know every service offers a chat room. With Small Account Challenge, I like to send out a daily watch list after the close every day. Generally, I have 3 or 4 stocks on there that I'll be looking at for the next day. I may go back and talk about the previous day's watch list, and this did happen or didn't happen, or it happened too quickly, we weren't able to get in. But the value of the community and the chat room. So I'm always in the chat room talking about, hey, this looks good, or someone else will put in a chart. What do you think of this? And I just said yesterday morning, 2 days ago, or before noon, I said that Lyft was looking bullish. And here's what it looked like on the chart. Shane H. took it upon himself because he's comfortable trading on his own, like the Lyft chart also. I had mentioned it in the chat, and then I added it as one of the stocks on our daily watch list. And I said, Lyft may be ready to lift off and trade to 1907 and possibly the median line up at 2207. Shane took 126% on 3 of his 4 contracts, and we were talking in there, and the stock had traded over that 908 area. That's how he'd gotten 126% here. But, he's like, what do you think about the last one? And I said, well, now that we've traded through that 1908, that is now support. If you see the stock on the 5-minute chart begin to trade below and break down below that 1908, I said, you should probably take the money there. And that's what he did on his last one. So community, chat room, daily watch list provides so much more than just getting a trade alert. And you're getting lots of education, great education. And we have a lot of fun. We have lots of fun. People are throwing out their ideas. If you're a spread person, we have a trader, North Point, Florida man. He loves to vertical spread, and I understand why. I get it. You save money. But for this service, we're doing straight buys of calls or puts. Straight up, the simplest trades we can make. Let me tell you about our guarantee. And it's too good to be true. As we said the other day, Mark was a little like, wait, what? So for $3.99, you can trade with us for 6 months. If we don't beat the S&P 500 by 4 times, you will get a $500 credit towards a different service. And our team, customer service, sales team, Ted and Drew and Ryan, they're all very well versed on our services. They will always point you in the right direction for the type of trading you're looking for. $3.99 for 6 months, guys, is a really, really good deal. If we fail, and as you know, Option Pit is always, we back up our guarantees. We always have a 14-day money back, no questions asked, return, refund. In this case, you'll get a $500 credit if we don't beat the S&P 4 times in the 6 months. So just to wrap it up, small account challenge, lots of fun, inexpensive, great bargain, great refund policy. You'll have access to the portfolio, the trade alerts you'll get with push notifications and an email. Generally, we trade 2 to 3 day trades a week. This week, I did not. This week, we closed the Etsy and we had some Nike puts, which I think I may re-enter, but we took it off for most people scratched. I took a 9% loss because those very important economic numbers came out on Wednesday and Thursday. I did not want to be exposed with this service. It's all about protecting that small account portfolio, that small account. So for the last 2 days, we have not had a trade on, and that's because no position is a position. So I chose not to have a position on for us. And now today we're free. We're free till next Wednesday to trade as much as we want. I'm looking at putting on 2 trades today. We're getting back on the horse and we're going to trade. As I said, no position is a position. I felt that was the right thing to do. The stock market could have flown up, flown down. Nobody knew which direction we were going. And now we have that coming up next week too. So we have till next Wednesday. We're going to trade them up and it's going to be great. We're going to have probably 2 trades today. That's my goal. Every Thursday today at 1 Eastern, we have our live sessions. During our live session, we will have a lesson. We go through pitchforks, candlesticks, the change in trend candlesticks you learn, trend lines, implied volatility. You'll learn how to find the cheapest option on the board, which option to buy. You'll learn how to allocate how much money for each trade, how to find your stop loss, how to find your price target to set up your trade plan. You will, we learn about implied volatility, historical volatility, delta, gamma, option synthetics. Lots of people are out there trading without even knowing what that is. Very important, option synthetics. We'll learn that. We talk about the psychology of trading and what to do when you're in a slump or if you're, on a winning streak. And also trade journal. You got to keep a trade journal. Keep yourself honest. Be able to review what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. All these things will be discussed in our live session together. As I said, you have the daily watch list. You're free to trade it on your own. I cannot put every trade idea on. We're trading with a small account, so generally we won't have more than 3 trades on at a time because we can only allocate so much money at a time. And but you're free to trade, and many watch list stocks move as I predict they will. I just can't trade all of them, but you can. You're comfortable making your own trades, you can trade them. We have a calendar letting us know what some of the key catalysts are to move the markets every week. Some earnings on there. Also, I love to be able to know how my members are doing, how they're feeling. They have questions. They have charts they're looking at. They bring up great ideas to me. We're a community here. You have direct access to my email. I will answer you generally that day, sometimes the next morning. Any questions, complaints, chart analysis you would like to see, all that, I will answer you. So $3.99 for 6 months, $9.99 for the second challenge after this one. We're going to beat the S&P 500 by 4 times. And if we don't, you get $500 credit. So we have our 1 o'clock class today, 1 Eastern. It's going to be fun. Come and join us. We're going to have 2 trades today. We're planning on adding 2 trades today. Yes, thank you, Ryan. Any thoughts on the market for today? Let's take a look. Yeah, looking pretty good. I'd say, like I said, maybe 6,600 on SPX by next week. Looking bullish. Looking bullish. Qs were looking a little lagging, weren't they? You know what? Keep your eye on the Qs. They're trying to, yesterday was the all-time high. Most importantly, we have to, look at IWM is gaining. Looks like new highs in there. Most importantly, we have our bonds, right? With that decision. Look at bonds still rallying. As I keep saying though, this is, could turn out to be buy the rumor, sell the news, but they love the yields lower. And TLT 96 or 98 half could become a target. I'm sorry, IEF 98 half. TLT 92.60. Breaking through resistance of that previous high. Looking bullish. A nice rally off a little tiny doji there. I'd say right now, all systems go. I saw a few little blurbs about a 0.5 point cut, which sounds insane. But it sounds like all systems go. Oh, there's a big presentation in NVIDIA today. Oh, okay, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Come and join us for our 1 o'clock class today. Any questions, Ted, Drew, they can answer any questions that I may not have answered. Have a wonderful day. Make lots of money out there.